Welcome to the Paul Chandler Show, everyone. I'm your host, Paul Chandler. And tonight, we're going to be doing coding on the whiteboard, and we'll be looking at the HCPCS codes for the A codes. Now, the beginning section of the A codes are for ambulances, not a lot of codes in that section, but the main part we'll be looking at are the HCPCS codes for the A section dealing with medical supplies. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back, and tonight we'll be coding A codes for HCPCS dealing with medical supplies. Welcome back, everyone, where tonight we're going to be looking at the A codes in HCPCS. So like I said before at the beginning, that the A codes actually has two different sections to it. Why? Because the ambulance codes are so small in the section, and A for ambulance, that makes sense. So those are the first set of codes. But what we're going to be looking at are the medical supplies, because that's the larger section. So whenever a doctor's office has medical supplies that they purchased, they use them in the office, then they're able to seek reimbursement for the supplies that they purchased. Same thing too, for example, with the J codes for Medicare dealing with the drugs. If the doctor's office purchased those drugs, then they're able to seek reimbursement for them. However, though, if the doctor received samples and so they had no charge, then they gave them to the patient, no reimbursement is able because the doctor's office didn't pay for it. Same thing too here with the medical supplies. The doctor's office purchased medical supplies, use them on the patient, they can seek reimbursement. Now with the A codes, several different medical supplies that we're going to look at, but I'm going to look at the ostomy pouches because why not? Now with the ostomy pouches, there are several different codes that we can look at. So for example, if we look at our HCPCS book, starting with the code A4375, we see that is the first ostomy pouch code, and those go through, for the most part, through A4435. Now there are some codes here and there all throughout that are not ostomy pouches. For example, like ostomy skin barriers and other parts. However, though, for the most part, these are all ostomy pouch codes. There's about 67 codes in there. Now, unless if you work at a place called the Ostomy Pouch Emporium, you're not going to have these many codes that you'll deal with. Even if you work in a hospital setting, you're not going to have 60 or 70 different type of ostomy pouches that you deal with. So with those ostomy pouch codes, depending on the hospital setting, maybe 12, 14, 15 different options. Doctor's office setting, maybe 6, 7, 8, all depending on. However, though, if by some chance there is some place called the Ostomy Pouch Emporium and you do happen to work there and you are watching this video, go to thepaulchandlershow.com, click contact, and let us know, or send us a message on Facebook also, because I will fly to where you work and we'll take a selfie outside of the Ostomy Pouch Emporium. Pretty sure it doesn't exist, but entrepreneur, maybe. But besides that, several different types of ostomy pouches that we can have. Now, I use the phrase in medical coding, this, comma, this, comma, this. That is a Paul phrase. It's not a CPT, ICD, or HCPCS phrase. The EMA doesn't say it, and World Health Organization, they don't say it either. So this, comma, this, meaning all the variables have to match this variable, comma, this variable, comma, this variable to be able to choose that code. So let's say, for example, let's look at the first two ostomy pouch codes that we have. A4375 and A4376. Looking at both of these codes, we have A4375 and A4376. Both of these are ostomy pouch, comma, drainable, comma, with faceplate attached. But then this variable is, what's it made out of? A4375 made out of plastic, A4376 made out of rubber. So plastic and rubber, two different materials. That's the differences between these two codes. So both of them are drainable ostomy pouches. Both of them are with faceplate attached. So you have the faceplate and the ostomy pouch bag itself. They're connected as one item. But just the material of what's the bag made out of, plastic or rubber. Difference in code in there. Or let's spice it up a little bit, and we'll switch it out to A4375 and A4377. Both of those are ostomy pouches. Both of those are drainable, but here's the difference. A4375 with faceplate attached, A4377 for use on faceplate. So there's the difference. Is the faceplate already attached to the ostomy pouch? If it is, A4375, so it's using both components. Or is the ostomy pouch bag separate? So it's for use on faceplate, but it's not attached to the faceplate itself. So the faceplate would be a different code. If that's the scenario, then A4377. Besides that, both are made out of plastic. So with the A codes, there are more codes than just ostomy pouches that we deal with on the medical supplies, but I like to say ostomy pouch over and over and over again. So ostomy pouches, and also other medical supplies. No matter what the medical supply is, they were dealing in the entire A code section itself on HIPAA. But again, we have a lot of codes here. And last time I promised I'll say the term ostomy pouch. But in this phrase, we have A4375 through A4435. Big section here for ostomy pouches. But no matter what the medical supply is that we're looking on the A codes, just remember this, comma, this, comma, this. We're looking at, is it this variable, comma, this variable, comma, this variable. And all the variables have to match, including, is it attached to something? Is it just part of one component? Or is it a combination where it's two components of the device connected together? And for example, what's the material made out of? So just remembering that as long as all throughout the A codes for medical supplies, this, comma, this, where every variable has to match on your medical supply, then that's how you simply code the A codes for medical supplies and HIPAA. I do thank you for watching this episode of the Paul Chandler Show, but before we go, if you're interested in growing your coding career, remember to check out our new organization, the Specialty Coder Institute, at specialtycoder.com. We launched at the beginning of this month, and there we have our credentialing our specialties, and they're higher quality than other organizations in the fact that our credentials are all fill-in-the-blank exams, and passing score is a 90%. That's 90. So you need to know your stuff. As compared to other credentialing organizations, their exams, multiple choice, 70%. That's a C-, D+, depending on where you're at. If you know how to draw a cute little picture on a Scantron, you can pass their exam. However, though, with a high quality, all fill in the blank, 90%, again, A-, B+, depending on where you're at. If you pass our specialty coder credentials, that just verifies that you know your stuff. So you can code it real well. So visit the Specialty Coder Institute, their website at specialtycoder.com if you're interested in either the new career of medical coding or to advance your career if you already have one or multiple credentials. I do thank you for watching this episode of the Paul Chandler Show, and have an awesome rest of your night.